Well, Brian, under the new policy, those who came to the U.S. illegally, regardless of how long ago, will no longer be eligible for bond hearings before an immigration judge. Locals that we talked to told us this was never a national security issue. A decades-old policy.
You have INA 236, which deals with detention based on an arrest warrant, meaning, for example, ICE issues a warrant for an immigrant's arrest.
That statute used to allow undocumented immigrants who had been detained by ICE bond hearings.
They're not a flight risk, they're not a risk to security, they're not a risk to the public, so we're asking for a bond in this amount. A judge will then issue a bond if they agree with us. If not, they deny it, and then we can appeal.
Immigration attorney George Rios said INA 236 has now been redefined with new interpretation.
ICE is now saying, no, that statute or that subject of mandatory detention applies to anybody, regardless of how you entered. And that's how we're interpreting it now.
In a statement, ICE said that the recent guidance closed a loophole that should not have been allowed. But others say it could trigger a humanitarian crisis.
There's a very real possibility that people are still ending up detained, even though they've been granted bond by a judge.
Rio says this is the first time he has seen this section of immigration law interpreted in this way.
I think something like 10% really have serious criminal records. They're over 100% capacity at this point. I think the last number I saw was like 147% capacity.
Some Fresno leaders agree the approach is not targeted at criminals. In a statement, Fresno County Supervisor Luis Chavez wrote in part, "Nobody feels safer because the 35-year-old undocumented mother that picks fruits and vegetables, cleans hotels, and works in our agricultural industry gets jailed in a for-profit jail system." The focus should be on violent criminals and those that actually hurt our children and families. And analysts believe the new policy will quickly be challenged in the court system. Live here in the studio, Juanita Adames, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.